For more on this, let's welcome in Florida Congresswoman Cammack. Good morning. Thank you for joining us in studio. So what do you make of this new narrative that no, she's never been the border czar, even though we just heard that he asked her to do just that?
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is just more deflection, blame. You know, they never want to take responsibility for anything. And that is really the MO of the progressive left. They want to point fingers. They will never accept personal responsibility. And I think that that's really going to be an accusation and a very necessary charge that gets laid on her for the entirety of the campaign. When she has said repeatedly that she is the border czar, she's the AI czar, that she's in charge of voter election integrity efforts, and she has done absolutely nothing. I mean, come on, her record speaks for itself.
When do the American people start looking at that and seeing her for what she is and seeing what a Kamala Harris presidency would look like? Because right now it seems like we're in the honeymoon phase, right? It's been a few days in, the media's all excited, Democrats are all excited, it's sunshine and rainbows everywhere, but eventually that wears off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she has a record of failure. Right? And trust me, there's plenty of material to go after there. And just because Joe Biden calls her a DEI hire doesn't mean that we have to. I think at this point, we focus solely on her record. And it has been failure after failure after failure. To your point, we have 10.5 million people who have crossed the border illegally. Because of this election, we're going to see a massive surge. I'm already hearing from Border Patrol agents that are saying we're starting to see another uptick because we're seeing that she's not going to do anything. And if Donald Trump gets reelected, then they're going to shut the border down. So people are really starting to rush. That right there is enough. What she has done with the open borders, the fentanyl, the crisis that she has created in this country, particularly in communities all around this nation, that should be enough to send every man and woman to the polls saying this woman is not qualified or capable of having the nuclear codes, let alone doing the very basic thing that she's already been tasked.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. When we heard Joe Biden give that Oval Office address, 11 minutes long on Wednesday night, in those 11 minutes, 7 times he mentioned that democracy is on the line. That seems to be their narrative. But then we watch what happened that very same day in our nation's capital with all of those protests, burning the American flag, raising the Palestinian flag, defacing statues, writing Hamas is coming. And the Democrats are in support of this. How can they then have that narrative that democracy is on the line because of Republicans?
Oh, well, a couple things here. First and foremost, all those scumbags, I will happily buy a one-way ticket to Gaza. If they want to stand in support of Gaza and the atrocities of the pro-Hamas terrorist mob, by all means, go there, protest there. Let's see how that works out for you. I loved what Bibi Netanyahu said. It's effectively akin to chickens for KFC. So there's that element. But then you talk about the threat to democracy, how you mentioned in his speech, he mentioned democracy. Let us not forget the 8 years that conservatives and President Trump were targeted by the radical left, saying they are a threat to democracy. If you go on Wikipedia right now, it says that Kamala Harris is the presumptive nominee because she got 100% of the votes. When you click on the vote tally, it says TBD. Tell me, who is the real threat to democracy? Who the party that just disenfranchised 14 million of their own voters, or the party that is really trying to get out there and put Americans first? I think Americans back home have that answer.
Congresswoman Cammack, thank you so much for joining me in studio. I really appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thanks.